What to do to help your child speed up speedily. Hi there, my name's Joycelyn Akufo. I'm the Managing Director of Geek Schools Tutoring. So today I want to address an age-old question. Why don't children finish their exam papers on time? Well, it's a question that comes up a lot. Parents are often worried that if their child doesn't finish their papers that they're using for practice at home, doesn't mean that they'll fail the real exam and so on. So I want to address some of these concerns and give some tips on what to do to help your child speed up speedily. So before we carry on with this amazing video, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you will get notified every time a new Geek School video goes up. Enjoy! Okay, so first of all, if your child does not finish the papers on time, within the time that the publishers have set, there are a number of reasons for this. Firstly, for many children, the 11 plus is their first real exam. Yes, they may have done the SATs in year 2. However, the time constraints for those are a little bit more flexible than the 11 plus exams, which are rigid. They won't allow extra time if your child goes to the bathroom or anything like that. Once the clock starts ticking, it's on. And once the clock says stop, it's not on. It's time to stop. So one of the first things that you need to look at is the depth of knowledge and understanding that your child has with particular subjects. Now, the papers where children tend to struggle on the most tends to depend on the child's skill set. So children who, for example, struggle with maths papers tend not to know their times tables, or they're very slow in responding with times tables because they're counting or going through some sort of formulaic process in their mind. And given that the times tables underpins most of the 11 plus maths topics, do that a few times and you definitely can't expect to finish the paper. Another area of concern is knowledge. So you would know that the grammar school exams take place in September, and if your child attends a state school, they are being prepped for the SATs, which take place in May. That disparity in months could mean a big portion of knowledge that you may think your child has, but maybe your child doesn't have. One example of this is with fractions. Children start learning about fractions far before year 5, and you might think that your child knows how to multiply fractions, so you give that child half times a quarter and they're fine. But then when you give that child 3.5 times 1 6/8 or 6/7 or something, they suddenly get stuck. It could be that they've never multiplied mixed numbers before, don't know how to change mixed numbers into improper fractions, and then, obviously continue the calculation from there. So there are some knowledge gaps, and usually children who are slow in the maths papers definitely have some knowledge gaps, because if you know something and you know it well, you should be able to work out a good average speed and do well with these. They should work at a good speed and do well in these exams. When it comes to the verbal reasoning papers, it really depends on so much. So, the 11 plus in general has SEM or GL. Yes, there's CSSE, but that's, how many schools use that? Not many. The leaders in the 11 plus paper publications are 2, basically. There are 2 of them, GL and SEM. And those papers are quite different. So GL papers, I think, give a fair time frame for children who are confident
Collins, I be